This video is going to talk about how we can build a more ethical data analytics field. While it is true that designing for privacy or centering ethics are not standard operating procedures in industry, there are ways to build these practices into a workplace culture. This work takes conversation and a shared understanding, which can be hard. But to work in ethical data analytics means you have to do that work. After putting in the ethic of centering ethics and designing for privacy, you could see a deeper trust built with your customers and potentially increase consumer loyalty if they put trust into your process. Currently, there is a lot of work happening to have tools available to navigate this space. For example, there is the Ethics and Algorithms Toolkit that is a practical toolkit for cities to use to help them understand the implications of using an algorithm, clearly articulate the potential risks, and identify ways to mitigate them. There is also work happening for Mozilla, including a recent white paper unpacking Mozilla's theory of change for supporting the development of more trustworthy AI. Companies and governments are starting to create access points for people to think about how they can engage with data analytics and data science in a more ethical way. There are also major players in the industry that are taking positions on data use and protections. The heads of both Microsoft and Apple have called for more data protection measures in the US, much like the GDPR in Europe. They have also criticized the practices of Google and Facebook's current business models, who would then suffer from those protections. It is easy for Apple and Microsoft to make these statements when their companies would relatively not be impacted by it. There's a lot of work constantly evolving in this field, but the issue of ethics and data analytics is a long one and goes back several years. For example, the Information Accountability Foundation has been writing about this topic since 2014. They have various research initiatives and educational initiatives that focus on data ethics, privacy, and more. Data ethics is not a clear-cut or black and white landscape. It is not that businesses don't care about ethics, but a tension exists between ethical practice and a shareholder expectations. This is an area where we have the most opportunity for growth and increase in understanding. As businesses and government become more aware of the need to have strong ethical underpinnings to their work, the public is becoming more aware of these issues. A comic from 2019 pokes fun at Google's ability to know what's happening in your house, even things not connected to the internet. This woman wants to find a recipe she clipped in 1985. Her husband goes and asks Google where it might be and comes up with an answer. At the end, it shares how Google is trying to direct the attention away from privacy issues, but Google employees couldn't resist helping this woman find her recipes in a scrapbook. So how can you best prepare to be the most well-informed and well-rounded data analyzer? Consider taking courses to supplement data-centered courses like this one, for example. Courses in philosophy, society and tech, gender studies, and indigenous, Latin, African American studies help provide an awareness of context that data operated. As mentioned before, all data contains bias of some way or another, and with the more representative knowledge you have among systems we work in and the institutions we work in, the better prepared you will be to evaluate data collection interpretation models and evaluate them for any potential biases that may exist. Another thing to be aware of is algorithms and methods are changeable, so you can consider how you would improve existing processes to be more human-centered. Even things that we do a lot of iterative coding on, you can think about ways to improve those processes. Also, data analysts are part of a larger project team. You can share your human-centered ethical philosophy with team members through conversation and shared understanding. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please reach out to me.